Yo, my good people, how we doing?
Hello.
How's everything going in life?
Um,
Another beautiful week.
like you, I bought more dog stuff.
Yeah, let's get an update real quick. What's the pup date, if you will?
Okay, don't do that. Um,
Please don't do that.
I also went to like TJ Maxx and Marshalls and just like bought a whole basket full of dog stuff. We
Love
still
that.
have yet to buy like a crate and stuff, so we got a ways to go. But
Yeah, yeah.
still getting my ass kicked by Mexico. Thank you.
Seems
Um,
like a common theme around these here parts. So we're just gonna let it be.
LOL. Um, any other updates? I don't think so.
Well, I can tell you that we, on my side of things with the dog, are starting to make some progress. And
Love that.
I can happily report that his crate was delivered today. So we've got that checked off the list, and we've got a box from Chewy coming tomorrow with a bunch of stuff. We've got like
Oh my god.
his first collar, leash, um, toys, like all kinds of stuff, treats. We're not
Gonna
doing
be
we're not
in
doing the food yet
Adam?
because I want to figure out what he's currently
Yeah.
eating and all of that. So I'll figure out the food
I
later.
think
But
I think like our breeder like like put it in our like notes of what
yeah, that makes sense.
food to get.
That makes
I wouldn't
sense.
be surprised if your breeder did the same.
Yeah, they will. When I think they had said that they were like just going on vacation, like the main person who runs everything. She was leaving for a couple days, and her family was taking care of all the dogs. So
Oh, gotcha.
once she's back, she'll have all the information over to us. But I'm excited about
Love
that.
it.
So making some good progress. Still don't know exactly what the name's gonna be, but we're gonna get that figured out. Um,
Are
but
you wait, we haven't talked about this. What are you down to a couple? Like do you
yeah,
what's
I
your
think
update?
we're down to probably two right now, and we're like, unless something good comes up, we're probably at like 90% we're going one way. Um,
Okay.
and I'm
You're
not.
not gonna reveal to the
No,
people?
I'm not revealing it yet. We're gonna do a live reveal of the dog, and then the name will be announced then.
Okay.
That's not
All
happening.
right. Can we see Coda at least
Yeah.
or what?
Hey, Coda, come here. So I've got my sister's dog with me right now. He's a golden retriever as well. Come here, boy. You can see him. He's a good boy.
Hey, Coda.
He's like a 7-year-old golden retriever. He's just
Oh,
he's fantastic. So we've been watching him for the last couple of days. We've got him until tomorrow. So and he literally just laid down right in front of my chair. So
you're doing the pod from there now.
yeah, I'm
At
not
least
gonna move him.
you get a swinging arm. It's
I'm
okay.
I'm not gonna move him because he's just too. Oh, he's perfect. I love him. But he's been great, and honestly, I think it's a really good preparation for us with getting a golden retriever in a month from tomorrow, actually. So it's awesome,
Like
and
this
I'm
is
very
what he's
excited.
gonna be like. This is what our dog's gonna be like in a few
Yeah,
years.
it's gonna take a while to
Not
get him there,
now.
but he'll get there.
Yeah.
And I've been watching a ton of like dog training videos and stuff. Like I've trained dogs in my life. I've always had a dog, so I'm used to it. But I want this new pup to be trained super well. And yep, oh, you can lay down. I want him to be trained super well and just to like fully
Just
listen and
goodest
everything.
boy.
Because yeah, with this being Christy's first dog, I don't want a little demon running around the house. So
Hmm.
training's gonna start from day one, and I'm excited about that. But it was funny because today when his crate got delivered, I ran downstairs and picked it up, and I set it up because I wanted to see like where we were gonna put it and work out the space and everything. And Coda very clearly did not like that I was setting up a crate, and because he thought it was for him,
Oh, Coda.
and so I set it up. I just kept him away from it, didn't even like look at him while I was doing
Oh
it,
my guy.
and then
So-
immediately took it down, and it's just like leaning up against the wall. And I'll say I'm super impressed with how easy these crates are to put up and take down now. Um, I
I
it's
see him just wanting
oh
your
yeah,
attention.
he's
So
just
bad.
popping his head in here. He wants attention. He's so happy right now. He is just a lovable giant. Christy took him on a walk in the park yesterday, and she was just like sitting there reading a book with him by her side. and somebody came up and was like, "Oh, he's such a majestic beast." I was like, "Yeah, it's
Yes, he
pretty
is.
accurate." Oh, he's full on laying down right now. I need you to hold on, move real quick, move to the right, and I'll still pet you. Okay, he's not moving. All right, this will work. This is fine.
No, but like lay back down.
Oh no, he's mad at me
Oh,
now. All right,
okay. All
Coda, come
right.
back.
Go
All
back
right,
to the room.
enough of the dog stuff for right
No,
now.
we have one more dog thing. It's a gaming headline.
Oh, you know what? You're right. Why don't you tell us? I'll let you go.
Okay, we were talking about it last week, and for those
Mutt.
that remember, we were talking about Stray, that cat game,
Yep.
and you were like, "Dog, I want a dog game,"
I need a
and
dog game, and it needs to be called
it's
Mutt.
been it's already been a week, and people made a mod. There's a mod available that's a dog running around in that game. Also Garfield, and also the weird one was the character what's his name from GTA.
CJ.
I don't know, but that was terrifying.
Yeah. It's like him morphed into
In
dog or cat
four
form.
legs.
It is horrendous. It should not exist. That is just absolutely cursed. Um, but
Okay, enough dog stuff.
I think there's actually going to be a lot of mods that come out for that, and it's going to be funny just to keep track of like what actually comes out and who comes up with what. So we'll compile all of those and we'll try and keep track because those are funny.
People are so funny.
Um, there's honestly not a ton of other stuff. Fortnite added a John Cena skin to it, and I guess that's kind of cool. But they of course did the "You can't see me" emote with it, and
Yeah.
it's the green hat that says "You can't see me." So just a funny little thing that I
That's silly.
noticed. But other than that, I mean, the only other big thing that we've got rolling is Halo Forge is gaining some traction here, and there's been some videos of some leakers who have gotten into Forge and they're creating things.
When is it technically supposed to drop? Do we
I
know?
don't think we actually know yet, which is interesting. And the best part is, I literally looked at Twitter 2 minutes ago, and Halo Infinite is trending, and it's only because of Forge. I looked in every single tweet is about Forge. It's
Like
like
they
if
haven't
Halo
done.
were to drop to Forge with the release, I think the game would be in a much different spot than it is today. But here we are, and we just don't know when it's coming out. Obviously, no word yet on a battle royale. And is Halo even too far gone to be
At this
revived
point.
by a Forge and a BR? I mean, it's gonna obviously bring people back in, but does it have the staying power to keep people's attention and to keep them coming back? I
Now I'm
think
just
that's the
curious.
question.
I'm curious about concurrent players. Oh, I looked it up. Okay, here's the Steam charts
Yep,
for Halo Infinite. The 24-hour peak was 6,132 in the last 24 hours.
that's
Currently,
low.
4,909 playing 39 minutes ago. All-time peak, probably when it first dropped, 256,000.
Yeah, that is.
Oh,
I'm curious.
yikes.
Um, because it's a Steam thing. Can you look up Apex and see what the Apex
Apex
all-time
concurrent players.
concurrent is? I'd be curious to know
Apex.
Call of Duty too, but I don't know if that's as easily accessible. Um,
Steam
so
charts.
see if you can
Okay.
find something on COD too.
Playing 41 minutes ago, 106,296 versus the 5,000 in Halo.
Yeah, is there an all-time?
24-hour peak is 335K in the last 24 hours.
Oh,
And then
that's
all
just in the
time,
last 24 hours. So
that's
that
in the
even
last
beats
24 hours.
Halo's
Oh, yeah. By
by
a lot.
100K.
Yeah. And the all time peak is 411,000.
Interesting.
So they're still hovering around. They're not like near their peak. I mean, they're like 80K off their peak, but I mean, to hover around that pretty steadily is wild.
Yeah, that's honestly, it's lower than I was expecting in comparison to Apex, just knowing how big of a Halo following actually has. Um, but on the same time, or at the same time, it's not all that surprising to me, just because of Halo Infinite has completely underperformed as a game in general. So Interesting.
Um, in comparison, currently 324,000 active in Call of Duty Warzone.
Currently.
Yeah, so it's about. I mean, that's like spot on with Apex. 325. Yeah, about 10 grand more for Apex in the last
Interesting.
24 hours.
All right. Well, Halo needs some help, and I'm not sure if Forge is going to do it, but it's creating a lot of traction, and it's at least trending right now on Twitter. So
He needs milk.
we'll see what happens with Forge. I've always been a huge fan of Forge, and it creates some, quite frankly, some hilarious games when you've got
This.
a good group who are playing together,
Oh my
and
god.
you're just chilling, playing
The
custom games
memories.
on like Forge custom maps. It is so much fun. So it would definitely bring me back in for like a couple nights doing that, but I'm not sure
Uh,
Forge has enough staying power to bring me back day after
what
day.
did we used to play? Like Halo 3, we used to do.
Remember
Remember
Fat
like
Kid?
Fat Kid was
We
hilarious.
used to play Fat
Infection.
Kid with like 20 to 25 people.
And for OGs that remember, Forge. So like playlists like Fat Kid and Infection and Griffball.
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 Yeah.
That was all Forge before they actually made it a game mode. Those were Forge playlists.
Yep. It was all
And
custom.
then Halo, yeah, and then Halo adopted those game modes
And
and
then
made them
what
multiplayer.
was is it bumper cars?
Okay, bumper cars was what I was originally going to mention because bumper cars is what, like, it'd be me, you, Casey, and Johnny, and I don't know who made the map. I think they made the map because they used to. I don't know. They played it in like Halo 3, but this
I
was
thought
like
they had
Halo
just found it.
4 or
And it
5.
was
They
just
may
like
have.
a
I
public
thought they
map.
made it, but maybe
It
they
could
found
be.
it.
Because that's
I don't
the cool
know.
thing too, is that you could find public maps
Yeah,
and anybody can create something and just put it online and people can play on it, which is awesome.
that shit was hilarious. I'm not kidding. We played hours during the summer. We would like it'd be like the last like we'd play like Call of Duty or something for a while. We'd get bored of it. I'd be like, bumper cars? And then
Yeah.
we would play that game and just laugh
Oh,
our
like
fucking
crying
ass
laughing.
off,
It was so much
crying,
fun.
laughing for like 5 hours. We played till like 3 or 4 in the morning
Yeah.
playing bumper cars. And so for
So
people that don't know bumper cars, what we would do is it would have it'd be warthogs, and then I think sometimes we had the whatever the other one is. What's the other one? Why can't I think of it? The purple
the purple
thing.
what?
This is mainly warthogs, but we've played with the purple car
The
thing,
ghost?
hovercraft. Ghost. Oh
Yeah.
my god, I couldn't think of the name. Uh and try to knock each other off the map. But
Yes.
we would put like a ton of explosives and stuff that you like eventually would memorize
The fuse boxes that you throw
the
at people.
the boxes, or like there was like landmines in the
Yeah.
last one in like Halo 5,
Yep.
and then also like giant lobsters or like giant like just like what did we have on the map? We had like a bing
Everything.
bong. Remember?
Yeah. It was obnoxious.
So obnoxious.
It was so
Anyway,
much fun
good
though.
times. Halo, bring back Forge. Thanks.
Yeah, and we're gonna keep an eye on when that date actually gets released of whether or not it will come out. And there's definitely gonna be a lot of fun little games like that come out of Forge. But like I said, I don't think it's gonna have the staying power that it needs to bring Halo back to where Halo used to be.
It's so far gone at this point.
Yeah, I think anything less than Forge and a battle royale is there's no chance.
Clean up your ranked playlist. Yeah.
Well, that too, but
But one thing at a time.
give me a ranked battle royale and then we're talking.
A ranked, yeah.
We'll see.
Would be cool.
Warzone
Copy the
2,
Apex system.
Activision. I hope you're listening.
They're not.
No, they're not. For Halo, I mean, you don't even have to go full on Apex system because you're not really dealing with attachments on guns. So it's like just drop guns and ammo and call it a day. Don't even.
Yeah.
It's not that intricate. It's essentially the big maps anyway. Excuse me while I yawn. I promised you're not boring me.
I know.
I will actually, on that note, though, I will say today is the first day that I've had any sort of coffee since Mexico, so that was fun.
How does your stomach feel?
Honestly, it feels okay. I did like an instant cold brew. It wasn't a full blown cup of coffee. I'm still not
Ah.
doing that yet, but like the
And
instant
neither
cold
am I.
brew was okay. I was all right.
Can't handle it. Can't handle it at the moment.
Okay. Let's get into Apex though, because there's a lot here that we can talk about, and I want to dive into the new legend that was leaked. It hasn't
Yeah.
officially, well, actually, no, it was officially announced
Yeah, it
because
was. It's
um,
trailer.
Apex put the trailer out, and there's some little Easter eggs that they've been dropping. So the legend's name is Vantage. We're gonna dive into everything that we know so far, um, ahead of Vantage's actual release, and I'm assuming this is going to be coming with season 14. And I think we had said August, like early August, that was coming. So Vantage, we got the trailer from Apex. I'm not going to play that here, but we also got this little Easter egg note from the Apex Legends Twitter account, and says Apex Games ruling appeal forum, and essentially this is an appeal to is like Apex, or sorry, Vantage, like submitting an appeal to Apex, and so that she can include her bat in the games. It's like
Yeah.
a little Easter egg thing. Um, but I thought it was interesting because the whole letter, I'm not going to read it all. I can, if you want to see it, it's on Apex's Twitter account and you'll find it. But essentially, she's writing into Apex saying, like, hey, it's not fair that Bloodhound has his own Raven and has an animal or a pet. That's the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this bat who doesn't go and like attack people. Like, I use him tactically. So this is kind of hinting at what Vantage's abilities are and her tactical, the passive and the alt. So I'm interested to dive into this because, like, one, we're gonna go into the leaks here, but I want to, like, hearing that she's got a bat, her main weapon is a sniper. Like, what are your thoughts on what her abilities could be and like how she would use them? Do you think she's gonna be more of like a bloodhound where it's the recon and you can go in and find everybody, or do you think there's a different way that the bat could be used? I'm curious, just your initial thoughts on this.
I just found a bunch of information I've been reading. So she is going to be recon. She's actually part of the recon class. So like she'll be included. So like she'll be able to scan and do the
The beacons.
beacons along with Seer, Bloodhound. Who else am I thinking of? Pathfinder, Crypto, and Valk. Um, Echo Launch. So Echo Launch is her tac ability. That's the winged companion, is what it says. Okay, it's a bat.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna pull up this article real quick. Let's start with the passive. So
So hold on, tac. Where's her passive? Sniper kit.
you kind of completely
Hold
glanced over
on.
my question because I said, "What are your
No,
thoughts?" But we're diving
hold
right
on.
into
I,
it.
I want my thought. Hold on. I'm getting to my thoughts because you could use it two ways. I wanted to read that for a purpose because you could use it as, if you haven't seen the trailer, you can like send out the bat and then you can like basically go to where the bat is, and it's only within a certain amount of radius. But you're not covered at all. Like, so it makes me think of like a Loba ring is way more like, I don't know. You can still track exactly where Loba's ring goes because you can see the light when she throws it. But like you're not covered at all whenever that happens. Like whenever you use the bat, is my
It's
impression.
essentially like Pathfinder's alt, where you can drop a zip line down and
But
you
only
can
for
just zip
you.
line around, and it's only for you. Correct. So
So
it, and there's a lot into that kind of. Let's okay, we're already talking about it, so let's keep going with the tactical. So you can send the bat wherever you want it to go, and the way that it's saying, so you, and this is on keyboard and mouse, by the way, this is not a
mhm.
controller, controllers or controller controls. Wow, that was tough for me. So you can launch uh the bat just with your typical tactical, which is Q. So on controller would be left bumper if you're playing with the default controls. And then he'll go out anywhere, and you can order him to a different spot by just continuing to tap that. So there's
Yeah.
probably some sort of timer that he's able to go out, and you can just have him go to certain places, and then you essentially like follow him. So you use him as movement for yourself. So this is where it gets interesting, because a lot of the recon players with Pathfinder excluded, well, I mean, I guess Valk is kind of in that discussion as well. But you almost using them as more of a movement player, where like I'm thinking like a Loba where you can throw the ring, or an Ash with her ult and you can cut the portal and go
Yeah.
like right off of that way, or even like a Wraith where you just go from one end to the portal to the next and you can go back and forth, where it's not the same here. um this, I feel like Vantage is almost like best of three different worlds a little bit, because you can mark different players with the sniper, which we'll get into as the ultimate.
Yeah.
Um, you can move around with the bat, and what we haven't really figured out yet, and what I'm curious to know is, does the bat have any like sonar capabilities of like, can the bat like ping where others are too? I
Mm.
would imagine
I don't.
probably not, because it hasn't
I don't
been
think
leaked.
so. Yeah.
But like that is something that I'm curious about, because I mean, having a bat as your little animal around you, like why would you not be able to tap into any kind of sonar? I feel like for me that's a little bit of a miss on Apex's part, but that's just obviously my own opinion.
Did you get a chance to look at what the passive versus her ultimate is? Because I'm reading this and I have first impressions.
Yes.
Did
So the
Do you want me to
passive,
explain?
just reading on the character list from the character selection, it says tactical info available in ADS. Um, sorry, in ADS unarmed or any long range scoped, or any long range
Oh,
scopes.
any long range scope.
Yeah, so it's not just the sniper, and it gives
So
you
my
leg
question is, can she get out the sniper at any time?
if you have an ult. I think it's only
Only
her
if you have
ultimate.
ult though.
Correct. The passive is on any weapon if you've got the scope, or the certain type of scope. For I don't know what they technically considered long range. Like, is it like 4 by and above, or like what? I don't know exactly
No
what that.
idea.
I guess we'll find out. Um, but the information that you get in the passive is interesting, because this gives you a lot. This is where
Oh yeah.
you're almost tying into the bat's sonar, which it's not technically using that, but like this concept is there, where you get the legend name that you're looking at, their shield rarity, so you know what kind of defenses they have, their team size, so you're getting, if it's a full squad of three, or a solo or a duo, and
Hmm.
then you get the range. So like that's a
Hmm.
lot of information just for a
It is a
passive.
lot. Yeah.
I feel like it would be extremely beneficial to have a Vantage on your team, just for the sake of having this passive. Um, I mean, the tactical and the ultimate may not be as effective as some others, but if you can always do that, like that's huge. You're getting
That
a
is a
ton
big
of
deal.
information.
That's a lot of info. Yeah.
So the tactical we were talked about is the Echo launch, and then the ultimate is Mark to Kill. And I think you've got all that information up if you want to go through that real quick.
It's basically a sniper, so she just like always has a sniper with her. And what you do, you can so I don't know how much I like this, to be honest, but essentially she can shoot enemies with her sniper. It does 20 damage, only 20. And then what that does, it you get damage, but also if you hit twice, you get it doubles. And also any person that you hit becomes marked, and your team gets a 15% damage boost on those marked enemies. So I'm wondering if they'll be like highlighted in red when you snipe them, and then your team also gets a damage boost.
Yeah, I would imagine that's going to be the case, where it's they're scanned similar to like Bloodhound or how Seer is, um, and then
I mean,
once you
a
get those shots,
15%.
That's a good. I mean, that's an immediate advantage.
Yeah,
This is where the actual like ease of use and the real world use cases here come into play because it is a sniper.
yeah,
If you're close range, is it really effective end game? Because end game close quarters is where it's super beneficial for your team.
yeah,
But if you have to actually, I don't know if you have to hit. Yes. So she marks the enemies by
yeah.
shooting them with the rifle. So if you
Yes,
have to hit them with a sniper in
yes.
close quarters, that's tough. So
Hmm.
if you can get that on one person, great. Your team goes after them. But like this is almost like a with Vantage, you fall back a little bit and you keep a little bit of distance so you can mark, and then your teammates are hunting. So it's like you're
Yeah,
the
but
way.
you know the numbers game though, like if you're getting 15% damage boost, that's great. But if you're playing a 2-on-3, it doesn't necessarily matter. Maybe it evens the odds on a 2-on-3, but like you still are going to need Vantage to push up and fight that fight because you're not going to most likely win a 2-on-3 regardless.
Yeah.
Apex is all a numbers game
Yeah.
for.
And that's where this is where I question a little bit of, is this even worth using?
Yeah.
Because of that use case situation of, and obviously I'm thinking primarily just for late game. I mean, there's how many situations where you've got two people pushing up, one kind of overseeing a little bit, relaying those comms. So that's naturally, I feel like, how Vantage should be used here. Um, but I'm curious to know, like, how long is an enemy marked for? Is it because it's an
That's stuff we
ultimate?
don't know.
Because it's an ultimate, I feel like you're probably marked for a decent amount of time. Um, so we'll see. And I think the one thing that we really haven't touched on either is the fact that if you hit successive shots with Vantage, then you're doubling your damage every time. So you're going from 20 to 40 to 80 to 160. Like that adds up quick if you can get your shots off. So
Hmm.
um, I'm also curious as to what kind of sniper this is and how semi-automatic it will be, or if it's a bolt
Yeah, or like rate
action.
of fire. Yeah.
What's the rate of fire on the sniper? I think that is extremely important. Um, a lot of variables on this ultimate before I feel like we can actually make a somewhat of a decision on if it's going to be worthwhile.
Hmm.
Um, but it's got my attention. I'm curious.
We'll see. I think one of us will end up buying it and using it. I don't know who it's gonna be, but uh,
Sean.
it's a Sean.
I'm yeah, I'm curious to see how this pans out. I love the way that they introduce new characters in this game because it is
Oh,
more
it's so
of,
cool.
it has a storyline behind it. It's not like Call of Duty where it's just like, yeah, here's a new character, blah blah blah. Technically, there's a
Hmm.
story behind it, but nobody really pays attention to it because they're introducing two or three people at the same time.
It's
It's
a million. They've got a million characters in that game,
yeah,
and and it doesn't affect the game at all.
that's
Like
also
it's
true.
just another character.
It
So
is That's a really good point. It's just a visual skin. So this, I love the way that they go about this, and it's gets the community talking. I mean, we're talking about it. I think this is awesome to see new things come into the game and just add another layer to Apex. And that's, I feel like we
once
talk about this all the
again,
time. There's so many layers to this game that keeps bringing you back.
every fight is unique. This adds a brand new aspect. It's like, and like, even if you don't use it though, it changes how you fight each fight. Because if you're getting marked from, I mean, you're going to know, like, once you get marked from however far, you're going to be looking for that team that just hit you with their uh, snipe from Vantage,
Yep.
like, and probably backing off a fight or hunkering down or something, depending on who you have. If you're a caustic, maybe you're hunkering down in a room because you know Vantage is a little bit more uh, long range. Like you're gonna win a closer battle. I don't know. It's all different. So I think the stories, it adds depth and it just makes um no, it doesn't add not more credibility necessarily. Just it adds more depth to the game in general. it makes it more fun.
Yeah, I mean, everybody loves good storytelling. And when
Hmm.
you can have a video game that is so successful and has a good storyline to it that people are actually not necessarily paying attention to the overall storyline
Ah,
within the game, because
yeah,
that's not true. I mean, I don't pay attention to this like
no,
from a storyline perspective, but when it's stuff like this where it's based on events in game, a new season being announced, a new legend, like that's when I tune in, and and I may not be playing the game for
yeah.
a couple days or whenever, but they bring my attention in and they get me to dive a little bit deeper, and it's almost like, oh, like I'm hooked. They've got
Hmm.
the hook in my lip and they're reeling me in, fishing for
Reel
me.
you back.
So I'm excited to see how Vantage actually plays out. Um, I'm trying to think of the last few legends that have come out. Obviously, Seer and Ash, and then was it Mad Maggie? Then we had Newcastle. Are those the most recent four? And then it's Vantage next. Can you remember off the top of your head?
I think Newcastle was the last one. Mad Maggie. Uh,
No, I want
hold
to say it
on,
was Ash before that, and then Seer. I can't remember off the top of my head now.
hold on. Legend release dates. Let's see. Now I'm curious. Legends list. Starting 6. Okay, here we go. Let's go to the bottom. Newcastle was May 10th.
Yep.
Mad Maggie was before that, February 8th. Ash was November. So they waited from November until February 8th to release another legend. And then they released February. Oh, well, February, March, April, May. So they do like 3 months per legend.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Newcastle, Mad Maggie, Ash, and then Seer. It
Spot
feels
on.
like Seer's
That was right.
been in the game longer.
Seer actually, I like first picked up Apex more seriously, like that first time that we started playing. That was the Seer event. That was when he first came out.
August 3rd.
Yep. And the rank split reset, and that's where I kind of picked everything up.
Yeah,
So that's interesting and funny
I
enough.
was
Now I play Seer.
I was around for the original 6, which is Bangalore, Bloodhound, Gibby, Life, Pathfinder, Wraith. And then unlockable 2 was Caustic and Mirage in the base game.
Mm-hmm.
And then Octane, I was there. I played through Octane. I played a little bit when Watson came and a little bit when Crypto came, not a whole lot. Then I was definitely back around Revenant time was next. Loba, I don't think I was around for her like release. I think Matt like started playing with it, but I think COD May 12th, 2020, that was around Warzone time, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Warzone came out in March.
Yeah. And then August was Rampart, Horizon, Fuse. That takes you into basically May 2021. So yeah,
Interesting.
I missed those.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what Vantage actually has to offer. We'll see if these are 100% for sure the abilities. I would imagine these are accurate. But we'll call it any changes as they come out, and we're curious on what your thoughts are with Vantage. So I'll the poll in the description for this episode is going to be Vantage theme. So make sure that you are taking a look at that and voting in the poll. And
Yep.
let us know in the comments down below what you think about Vantage. If you're excited for her coming out, curious what your thoughts are. Okay, we're gonna jump into another Apex segment here, and I know Matthew, this is something that you were pretty excited about doing. It. I'm curious myself. Let's dive a little bit into our Apex stats.
The stats, eh? Okay. I could do that. So I pulled up yours and mine. Let's go.
Let's start with mine because mine's a little bit simpler.
Yeah, well, and that's also because you've just been playing the game for less time.
Yeah,
So I guess when did you first start? I guess it would have been recently. I mean, honestly.
I mean,
You played a little bit at some point, but
I first pretty much started playing. Let's see. It was that Seer event. So what did we say? August. Um, didn't have Seer at that point, and
yeah, but we took a break and mainly played Warzone for a
Yeah,
while. I
yeah.
mean, you played
I
like
mean,
Seer,
we only played for a couple weeks. It was like a
but
week or two. When I say a
hmm
couple weeks, I really do mean a couple.
yeah,
And at that point, I think I played Octane.
yeah.
And I never really got like super into it. I wasn't very good. It was really bothering me that I was a lot better at Warzone than I was at Apex.
Well,
So
this is what I was gonna ask you, because like going from then where I felt like it was bothering you that like you weren't as good.
yeah,
What are your impressions now? Now that like before we get into stats, do you feel like what I was kind of telling you was right? That you have to get used to it. You have to get used to the abilities. The play style is very different. The fights are different.
yep.
Like it is a first person shooter, but like it's a very unique way of playing the game. The
It's
movement's all different. All of it.
it's totally different than Warzone because you can't overextend, and that's what I when we're playing ranked and there's the three of us and I see one person kind of pushing up a little bit, I will immediately say don't overextend. And it's gotten Sean out of tough situations, and like we won a game because I started yelling at him. I was like, stop tunnel visioning. There's a guy to your left. He's going to absolutely rail you when you move up. Stop overextending.
hmm
And he listened to me, and we won because we were able to tag team him.
hmm
And I mean, there's been situations where I've said the same thing to you. I was guilty of it just today, where I overextended myself and got killed, and immediately said that's on me because I tunnel vision. So like
hmm
you have to keep your awareness up at all times. Whereas with Call of Duty, it's a little different. You can lone wolf a little bit, but if you get caught lone wolfing in Apex, see ya. Good night.
Yeah, because it's all team shots too. Like especially if you get you're lone wolfing, and then you come up on a team, and they just annihilate you. You don't have
Yeah,
a chance. I
yeah.
mean, you can do some damage on like one, but like my movement is not ace you good enough to like avoid enough shots and hit some to kill a team of three or something.
No,
You know.
no. We're by no means even close to being that good. But I think that to your point of it being a lot different and having it has a much longer ramp up period to actually
Yeah,
being competitive.
yeah.
And that was one thing that I was frustrated on because I consider myself a good Warzone player. But coming into a game like this where you're not dropping in with your gun every time and you have different abilities that your player can use throughout the game, and you have to keep that in mind as you're rotating and going into new gunfights.
Yep.
That's the different layers that really took some time to actually get used to. So this time around, while I've been playing, I've put the time in to actually understand how these different characters are.
Mm.
And I first started playing with Ash when we picked the game up, and I enjoyed it a lot. But I noticed that Ash didn't really fit my play style all that much, and I felt like I was almost like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. Where it's like I don't really just want the ability to tether people with the tactical and move in one direction. Like yes, it's beneficial. There
Yeah.
was situation like there were a couple situations in games where we were able to jump from roof to roof, and like that won us games. But I feel like now that I'm playing Seer, it's much more beneficial for myself. It just kind of my brain thinks that way a little bit more,
Mhm.
of just having those abilities in front of me and being able to utilize those best. But
Yeah.
it's also way more beneficial for my teammates where I can drop my ult down. Everybody can see where people are in that bubble.
Yep.
The tactical, I can stun people, and it shows them for everybody. So like that is where I think he is a lot more, or he's a lot better fit for my playstyle, and I've enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah. All great points, and it makes me happy that you enjoy it. I think that Apex does creates a more of a skill gap and more of a it's because there's a knowledge gap. Like if you're going into a fight and you don't really know the legends, I mean, think about like what a disadvantage that'd be. Like if you're facing I don't know. I mean, every fight is a little bit different, but like if I know there's a Gibby and he throws down a bubble and he's about to res his teammates in the bubble and I can't get there fast enough to push, it creates a massive disadvantage for you. And anyway,
Yeah.
but you have to. I love that about the taking the time to learn the legends because it does take a lot of time to kind of learn that, and you just have to keep playing.
Yeah, it's a lot in the situations where you're playing with random teammates and they take your legend that you want to use. Then it's you have to be able to transition into something else immediately and just know that you're gonna have to have a different play style with this different legend. So um, always have a backup and even a third that you are comfortable with. And there, I don't think I'm not quite there yet. I would say that my backup is, excuse me, probably Ash, just because that's what I've played most recently. And then I would
Yeah,
probably go, um, honestly, I could probably transition to anything else and get through a game, but I'm not going to be as good as I would be with a Seer or Ash. So um, that's interesting. But let's dive
let's
into
see
some
the
of these
stats.
stats.
Okay, so no, I gotta pull up this other one. All right, so looking at yours,
And
so
this is, I will say, you don't really get a ton of
it's not a lot.
stats with this website. Um, quite frankly, getting a little bit of dono walled, which is okay. But
LOL.
it does show,
Your top line stats,
yeah, because and it says it only shows
most
uh
recent.
the the seer, or not the seer, sorry, the legend that you have equipped in game.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the one that I typically use. Obviously, seer. We got 126 kills, 62,522 damage, and I've hit 382 people with my tactical ability. So, I mean, not great numbers,
Also,
but for the short amount of time that I've been playing, I'm decently happy with it. My
and I think
rank,
this is. I don't know if it's just for like. Why is this? By the way, why is it like Windows? Why do you have like Windows next to your name? Like mine's technically.
prob-
Oh no,
probably
mine's
because
right
I'm
too.
playing on PC. Yeah, that's just what.
Yeah,
That's just
I was
it's
thinking it loaded differently, but it
no.
didn't. Okay, sorry.
It's just showing the platform. There's probably a reason why there's not a Steam logo next to it. Um, but I mean, I'm decently happy with these metrics so far, and this is for somebody who's still really getting used to the game, and over time, this is obviously going to improve. And I think I looked at my KD in game before this, and I think I have like a 0.65 or zero point 0.7 KD right now, and I mean that was extremely low at the start, and it's come up quite a bit actually,
Yeah,
and it's going to continue to rise. So I'm happy with the progress that I'm making, but I'm not happy enough with where I'm at yet. I
I mean honestly though, like being in gold though for like your first like really like this is the first like rank grind for you. Gold's a good level to be at, and you're almost at platinum. So
Yeah, I'm hitting platinum tonight, so
you're
that's a good thing. I think I'm like 165 RP away from Platinum 4. So I'm happy with where I'm at rank wise. I think I'm catching up to you. And I for a few days I was going back and forth between gold 1 and gold 2, and I was getting frustrated. But that's
Mhm.
just naturally how the ranked grind actually is. And there's some games that go well and some that don't. Um, but I just kept gaining RP and then I would lose it. And it was like a almost like a one step
LOL.
backwards, two or one step forward, two steps back. But I'm out of that threshold right now and on my way to platinum. So I'm excited for that. What's crazy, at least based on this website, and I don't know if this is um, for all players or if this is PC only or what this is
Don't know.
taking into account. But as gold 1 with almost 8,000 RP, I'm in the top 7.78% of players, which interesting. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
part of me thought I would be lower, but that just goes to show how many people actually play this game.
Yeah.
For kills, I'm top 20%. Damage, I'm top 23%. And the tactical ability hits, I'm top 33%. So, just I've got
Pretty
obviously
good.
I've got
Yeah.
I've got a lot of room to improve, and I guess I'm happy with where I'm at right now. But
Here's the thing.
onward and upward.
How long has this game been out?
Apex,
Hold on. Yeah.
it's been out for
February 4th, 2019. So for you to be in the top 20% after like just really playing the last like few months, pretty damn good.
it's not bad. I also have high expectations for myself, and I'm
I
super
know.
competitive.
Oh,
So
you gotta play it more.
yeah, yeah, just got to put the time in and actually do it, which I'm excited to do because I don't want to say I'm hooked on this game, but I'm
Right
almost
now.
there. Yeah, yeah, I'm almost there. Okay, let's go to you real quick. I'm gonna pull up your stats. We're gonna dive into this. So why don't you take me through kind of how I just did it, and I've
Which
got
one are
it
you
up on
pulling?
screen too. I've got the Apex Legends status, not the Apex tracker. So this is your PC
Okay,
stats.
you've got the PC ones because I spent a lot of time on the Xbox one too.
So
But
do you want to
honestly,
start on the other one then?
start on the other one because I can kind of go through the story a little bit.
Okay. And this is a different website. So this is the apex.tracker.gg. So this will give us a little bit more stats. So take us through
I mean, it's
where
not
we're
a
at
whole
with
lot.
this.
It's not a whole lot different though. Like, this is just interesting because honestly, I would have thought this was higher because I felt like I spent a lot of time on Xbox.
Mhm.
Um, but this is all my Xbox stats. Level 145, 857 kills, 112,000 damage. And I mainly played with Bloodhound. Like you can see, well,
You put
oh, I
some
guess I
time in
take
with
it back.
Pathfinder.
God, I did spend a lot of time on Pathfinder. I didn't even realize that. Wow, 330 kills.
And I have never played with you while you've played Pathfinder. So that goes to show how much time you put in before I did.
Yeah, yeah. I did a little bit of time with Seer, but not really a whole lot.
That was when he first came out, I think, because
100, well, 141 kills. That's almost half of my path kills.
that's more kills than I have with him. I think I'm
380.
approaching like 120 or something, I think.
Yeah.
So I'll pass you soon. It's not going to take very long for me to get there.
Anyway, go to my go to the PC stats.
Okay.
Excuse
All right. So this is the same website that we just
me.
went through for me.
Yeah, different one. So anyway, so this just tells you like how much more time I've also been put into PC and dedicated it straight to Bloodhound because on the other one I was what I say 400 no 857 kills with the other Bloodhound. I'm up over 1,000, almost 1,200 now.
And that's just
Uh,
with Bloodhound, right?
yeah, just Bloodhound top 5.5%. Damage I'm at 420,000, top
Sheesh.
12%. 269 for I don't really care about season 10. Season 10
Yeah,
wins, season
that's
10 kills.
3 seasons
I think it's
behind.
just it's literally just my that's from those are just the badges. That's funny. So
Oh,
it
these are the
tracks
trackers. Okay.
it tracks yeah, it has our trackers on here.
Interesting.
Anyway, and then I think the most interesting for me is the plat 4. It's got me the top 3.44%. I don't know. I still like if you look at the percentages, I looked them up. Like Diamond's really like top 3% overall for Apex. So what I'm thinking is this is just for PC. But still very interesting. I don't have any intention on switching a legend off of Bloodhound. I really like my Bloodhound, but I don't know. I mean, if it were something that like actually kind of helped our team, uh, then maybe. But I feel like we have a really good flow.
We do. And you know, Sean and I talked about this too a couple days ago of like how can we improve our ranked gameplay. Um
Hmm.
and I feel like if you were to make a change, it should be to like a Gibby or a Caustic or something like that, where then we'll
Yeah,
have like the best of three different worlds, where it's like you've got the Seer who's got can the recon, and you can illuminate players for everybody. Then you've got the Valkyrie, so you've got straight movement. You can get out of almost any situations with her ult.
Mhm.
And then you've got Gibby, who's that tank, and you can drop a bubble down. You can get quick reses. You can almost like position yourself inside of a building if you need to, where that would be more of like the caustic play.
I honestly think if I were gonna change though, like I like Gibby, but the problem for me is I'm so much more aggressive,
Yeah,
and I don't like having a big hitbox. So like Gibby, maybe no, but like maybe a lifeline. I don't know. Like if you're in a tight situation like that and you can res, like we got one down and I can
you can
res but
heal
still
and still
fight.
shoot.
Yeah, maybe that would make sense. And
Yeah,
then if I'm pushing, like I don't have such a big hitbox.
yeah, that's a
Uh,
good point.
anyway,
Even
well, we'll see.
even today when we were playing with a random and here's a Watson and you throw the ult down and you can heal shield. Honestly, I don't play enough with, or I don't play with Watsons enough to even know that that was what it
Yeah.
did. So like you put
Yeah.
it down and you were like, go next to that. I was like, why? What does it do?
Yeah, you're healing your own shield. I was like, no, just go next to the things right there.
So like that even goes to show like how technically how new I am to this game. Just
Hmm.
still don't know all the different characters and all of that. So um, there's a lot for me to learn, and I'm excited to do it. But yeah, there's a lot to look forward to with Apex that's coming out, and I'm excited. Also, you know, we talked about this when the Valk's heirloom came out, but I'm excited to see who is going to get the next heirloom as well. So that will probably happen in a couple months. So we'll keep an eye on all of these updates,
Yup.
and we'll talk about it because we're on the Apex grind right now, and we're gonna wrap things up here. A little bit
Can
of a
go
shorter
for
episode today,
it.
but we're gonna dive right into some ranked games, and I'm gonna hit plat tonight, so it's gonna be a fun one.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Make sure to subscribe down below on YouTube. If you're listening on any other podcasts like Spotify, Amazon, anything, thank you for listening. Make sure to please leave a review, subscribe to that as well. We appreciate everybody for listening. We will see you all in next week's show. Peace.
See ya.